And there are 6 players in the field playing defense, blindfolded, with 2 volunteer coaches and spotters, basically calling out numbers, zones, based on where the ball is hit, and depending on the number, it's going to dictate if the ball is going to be to your left or to your right, etc. 100 feet away from home plate on first and third, about 10 feet into foul territory, there's about a 4-foot pylon, padded pylon, yeah. So, when the player makes contact, one of those 2 bases goes off. And the object is, as a batter, you have to run and tag that pylon before a fielder gains possession of that ball and picks it up and displays that they're in possession of it. If the fielder gets the ball before you tag it, you're out. If you tag the pylon, it's a run scored. And the ball beeps constantly, similar to an alarm clock. So it's very annoying, but very effective. So again, it was our first year. We just got back 2 weeks ago from our Beast of the East tournament, which is we play 3 other teams. Play New York, Long Island, New Jersey, and Philadelphia, and it's a two-day tournament over 2 separate weekends. And the team with the best record overall from those 2 days wins the Beast of the East. So proud to say that we went 5-1, and we are the champions. Wow. And next week we're participating in the Beatball World Series. It's going to take place in Rochester, Minnesota. And I believe there are going to be 20 other teams there. I think nationwide there's about 40 beat baseball teams. There's a ton of stuff online about beat baseball and about the Boston Renegades in general. So you can just YouTube Boston Renegades and you'll be able to see a whole slew of things. And basically, from what I've heard, the season costs about $25,000 for us to participate and play games and travel and stuff. So we're really thankful, and your generous donations really helped us out a bunch. So thanks again for supporting the team. And I guess I'll turn it over to Joe, and then if you all have any questions that you want to ask, just don't raise your hand. We can't see you. Just shout it out.
That was a good description that Rob gave of the game and what our perception of the field is. When you hit the ball, either first or third, we'll start buzzing, and we're listening for that buzz, and we're heading toward it. And this is my first year playing, and it's certainly taking me out of my comfort zone. One of the things I've learned as a child is not to run full blast at anything, let alone head into it and run it over. So as we're running for this base, and I still catch myself every once in a while. When I get closer, I slow down because of that defense mechanism of I don't want to run into this thing, even though it's padded. But I'm slowly getting over it, and it's just pretty exhilarating when you tag that base and you hear the umpire yell safe. You're like, I just scored a run, and it's such a fantastic feeling. So every time you're at bat, you have a chance to score for the team.
And I just want to add, in addition to the funding that is helpful, and all the money that we need to raise to support the team each year, it's equally as important that we get volunteers, because we could not do this without our sighted volunteers and coaches. So if anyone is interested in volunteering, certainly give our coach a call or contact me or Joe or Ms. Graff. To touch upon Joe's point about running full blast, I'll tell you a quick little story. My first time at defense this year, I was told that when you hear a 5, to run to your right to support in case the ball gets ricocheted. And we have a nurse who is a volunteer. She's in her mid-50s, I think. And she was learning how to spot call for the first time. And the ball was hit, and she was paying attention to something else, and I took about 6 to 8 steps full speed in her direction, not knowing she was there, and I completely blindsided her. So thankfully she's okay, but I a bit more hesitant now to run full speed, so I didn't get those lessons that Joe got when he was younger. But now I've learned my lessons.
Yeah, so a lot of it is teamwork, communication, always announcing when you're moving on the field. So in case someone is standing there silent, waiting to hear where the ball is going, if they hear you coming, then they can say something, you know, as well, so that you can avoid those collisions.
How old are your players? The oldest. Who's the oldest player?
Oh, I think. Do you know maybe the oldest?
Inky.
Oh, Inky. Mid-50s, yeah, 56. So we, our youngest I think is 23. So we have a dynamic group. The team has been around since 2000, 2001, I believe, playing competitively. So there is a DVD out there. There was a documentary done on the team a few years ago, and I know that there was an event a couple of months ago. I'm not sure how many folks got to see it, but the DVDs are now on sale. I think for $20 a piece if you order it through a player, and $26 if you want to do an online order. And we do have copies that have an audio descriptive track on it, so for folks with vision impairments, it will sort of describe what's happening on on the screen for those things that are more visual.
Do you have any other games this year scheduled?
We have the World Series, which is from the 4th to the 9th, or I think the games are from the 5th through the 8th, 3 or 4 days of playing 3 games per day. We have a Lowell Spinners event on Sunday. Lowell Spinners are either a single A or a double A, single A affiliate of the Red Sox. So before their game, we're going to put on a little exhibition, I think, in the outfield, just to demonstrate what the game is like. We have a couple of players going up in uniform. We had a scrimmage game last night with Sullivan and Worcester Law Firm, who's a donor of ours, and we played against those folks, a modified version of the game. So we modified the rules for them. We gave them 6 hours. With beat baseball, instead of 3 traditional strikes, you get 4 chances to hit the ball, and you get a tape. So we allowed them, after their 3rd strike, to hit without their blindfolds, and to put it on and run to the base once they make contact. And instead of having 2 spotters in the field, we allowed them each to have their own spotter, and basically they could verbalize with them and communicate however they wanted to. Where for us, you're only allowed to say the number. You can't give any direction, right, left, things like that. So
you let them cheat.
Yes, well, I mean, we got up to bat twice. The second time we got up to bat, I think the first inning, a couple of our guys struck out, and then we, I think, put 9 runs up on them in the second inning, and then we just allowed them to bat the whole time. So I think the final score was maybe 9-1. I'm not sure if there was I think there was a 9-year-old little girl that might have scored a run. So it was difficult, actually, because a lot of folks, when they would make contact, usually it's completely silent until the play's over. But they would cheer and hoot and holler, and it was kind of hard to hit the ball. So but it was fun, and then they took us all out to Miller's Ale House in Watertown, and they treated us to some dinner. So it was nice. I think this is the 2nd year that they've done it. So hopefully we'll continue to play with them. I think they had some folks yesterday that improved from last year. So.
It was good to play against other players so that you don't get used to a certain playing style, which helps us improve our game.
Right. Yeah.
So 2 questions. One, how would you like to play beat ball with Brookline Rotary?
That'd be great.
You guys are up for it.
Yeah. I mean,
We're too old, I think.
yeah. Well, it's pretty competitive, and it's pretty demanding on the body. We dive at those pylons, we flip over them. We do what's called a Superman when the ball's coming at, which is basically making a wall and having the ball bounce off your face, your chest, your stomach, anywhere that you can stop that ball. So if you all are up for it, I'm sure we can certainly arrange something at some point. So I think we may have a scrimmage against I think in September we're looking to maybe scrimmage a local Lions club. I'm not involved with that organization of that, but you know, I think that's definitely something that the team has traditionally done.
So the second question, if we know somebody who might be interested in volunteering, where are the games and the practices and when?
The practices are in I believe it's called the Filipello Field in Watertown.
So across the street from the Arsenal Mall.
Yeah, it's not too far away from there. Practices are Sundays. I think it's dependent on the permits we can get. This year there's Sundays from 10 to 1, and for the past month and a half or 2 months, we have a practice Wednesday night from 6:30 to 8:30. The first part of the season, someone had donated some, well, not donated, but allowed us to use their batting cages in Woburn, so we did that for a couple of weeks, and then we got a permit for the field on Wednesday night. So to answer your question, I think it's Wednesdays and Sundays traditionally. In the games, we didn't have a game this year locally, but I think next year, I think we're going to be one of the host teams for the Beast of the East. And then I'm not sure where the World Series is going to be.
Rochester, New York.
Next year again, too?
In New York. Rochester, New York.
Oh, New York, okay.
As opposed to
Yeah,
Rochester,
right, as opposed to
Minnesota.
Rochester, yes. So I guess we're going through all the Rochesters.
How many teams are there around the country?
I think there's 40.
Okay.
I don't know. Damon, is that?
It's close anyway, but a lot of those don't raise the money to travel, so they don't end up playing in some of these tournaments. It's all, because you have to travel to play it.
Some teams will take on other players from other teams to play in the World Series, from what I've heard. So if your team, doesn't raise enough money to support, your team, I think you may be able to hitch on to another team. Yeah, there's a team from Taiwan that goes. That is not mine. I think that's my send-off music at the Academy Awards. Any other questions?